Like most travellers, I came to Nepal for the trekking trails and the promise of mountain views. But after spending a week in a quiet mountain village, I learnt there's far more to the country than the world's largest mountain range. I'm discovering a different side to Nepal, one built around resilience, community, and a way of life that has thrived here for generations. There's a beauty in the simplicity of it all, living by the rhythms of the land, the seasons, and the day-to-day needs of the farm. But I don't want to romanticise it. This life is far from easy. In 2015, this village and many other parts of Nepal were destroyed by a huge earthquake. Only a few of the traditional mud and brick houses remained standing, the rest were turned to rubble. The family I was going to live with was staying in a neighbour's house after they lost everything in the disaster. They invited workawayers like me to help them on the farm whilst they saved to buy their own house. I arrived after a journey of several hours from Kathmandu, Nepal's busy capital. Getting here, I had to work my way through crowded buses, dusty roads, and hike up a steep hill to reach the village. I was sharing a room with Caroline, another visitor, and we quickly became friends. Together, we'd be helping Amma with daily farm work and running small errands around the village. The village itself is no more than a single dusty road lined with a handful of homes, a tea house, and a few small shops. It's home to less than 100 people, with many of the families having lived here for thousands of years. After getting to know everyone, I was eager to help with the farm, but first there was something important going on in the village. I had arrived just in time for a special occasion, the inauguration of a brand new village temple. Later that afternoon, the whole village would be gathering for a celebration and a feast. We visitors were tasked with prepping the vegetables, so we spent the whole morning peeling sacks of potatoes. It felt like there was a never-ending supply, and as the rain started pouring, we kept peeling. Meanwhile, the local women prepped the bread and were in charge of the cooking. By afternoon, the entire village gathered for the official speech and prayer ceremony to open the temple. Many wore their best clothes, vibrant, intricate outfits that made me feel incredibly underdressed. And then came the food, which I wish I'd captured on film. It was simple but incredibly delicious, meaning everyone was well fed for working on the farm the next morning. We're just arriving at the farm now, and we've been picking some straw and some chickweed for the goats and brought some rice down for the dog because that's what they feed the dog that they have down here guarding the cow. There's amazing views from up here. That morning, after the animals were fed, we helped Amma beat the mustard. It was an energy-intensive process where the plants had to be dried and beat several days in a row to collect the tiny seeds. Altogether, we collected around 10 kilograms of seeds, which would produce only around 2 litres of mustard oil. The next morning, Caroline and I were sent to collect milk from the farm, so we set off in the rain, winding our way down the muddy slopes to find Durba. He let us try milking the cow, which turned out to be a lot harder than it looked. Once we'd collected the milk, we took it to the village store. There, it was weighed, and a small sample went into a machine that checked the milk's quality by separating the lipids. This time, it seemed the shopkeeper was happy with the result.
Come here, come. 1, 2, 3.
So we've been doing some work in the farm this morning, and now we have a break, and one thing that we are learning about Nepalese culture is before and after and during everything is tea. So we're just walking to the tea shop now, and we're hoping to get some masala chai. I really enjoyed visiting the tea house. because we were able to meet other people living in the village. Sometimes when the kids were off school, they'd come and hang out with us to practice their English. And after an hour or so of socialising and soaking up the views, we'd head back to the farm to do some more work. So in the afternoons we tend to go down and work on the farm, and in Nepalese culture it seems to be the women in the family that do most of the farm work. So in this case it's the grandmother. The women also tend to look after the house as well, so there's lots of work for them. And it is honestly putting all of us to shame as well, seeing how hard the grandmother works and how strong she is. She's 63 and it's just amazing. So as I leave this village, I take with me not just memories, but a sense of appreciation for a way of life that values connection and tradition, and a greater appreciation of the hard work it takes to live in truly remote places.